All right, so today's project is to work on the Raptor, right? So I've got the thing washed, I got it prepped, I've got it taped, and I've got it wiped down and ready to do some polishing on a couple of spots. And I want to test a new product, so I'm going to polish a lot more than I was intending. I'm going to do the whole front clip with a Dr. Beasley's product here. And then I needed to protect and correct the, at least, maybe not so much correct, but I needed to jewel up and prepare the newly painted surfaces for a coating as well. And so I figured, since I'm going to be doing that, why not try something new? And then I can compare it. And so I'll have different sections of the truck, some with Dr. Beasley's, some with Kamikaze ISM Miyabi combo. And so that's the plan today. The fender flares were black plastic. I had them painted. I also had the problem area on the fender. I had a big bubble that Ford jacked up, so I had my guys at Ultimate Auto correct that and paint it. And so there's part of the hood has some scratches, or just some toweling marks from them, you know, prepping the area. And so because I need to polish a section of the hood, I decided, why don't I just do the whole hood, do the whole fender, because that fender needs to be treated because it was repainted. Do the fender flares, and I might as well do the other fender. And since I'm doing the front black, gloss black painted Ford grille, I might as well just redo the entire front clip. So we're going to compound off the Kamikaze ISM Miyabi. I don't think I've ever compounded a coating off the car, so we're going to play with that today. I'm assuming I'm going to have to blow out the pad a lot. So I'm going to compound that off and recoat it. Probably need to polish it as well. And then I've got two high spots on the right side, probably because I let it sit too long, that I also want to polish and then recoat. And then we'll finish up with the rear Ford emblem, the black gloss black emblem that I need to polish that, as well as the other fender flare. So I'm going to work on that today. So let's get started. What I have with me, or what I have out today, Rupes long neck, the long neck Nano. I have my brand new Mini. I have a bunch of these in stock now, and so I had a new one sent to me. My dad sent me one so that I have an extra one. My brand new LHR 15 Mark II that I built at Rupes. We're going to use Just Car Correction compound for the compounding, and we'll do a perfect finish for the finishing. And then we'll use, I'm going to play with the Lake Country HDO pads in comparison to the McGuire's microfiber cutting, and then we'll use likely these Rupes yellow pads. I have some other HDO pads that I might play with as well. And then the plan at the end of this is to do Dr. Beasley's Nano Resin Pro kit. So I'm going to use this to coat the surface. They have a coating prep, which I don't think I'm going to use. Well, actually I probably will. I'm guessing this is very similar to what I use on the for Eraser, so we'll see how that goes, and I'll get this out and we'll talk about this product here and why I'm going to use this, why I'm going to try this. Before you freak out, and you go look at the price, this is 500 bucks, so pretty expensive. I'd like to do the glass as well, so this is the Glass Serum Pro kit, so I might do the windshield with that. So anyway, let's go out and let's inspect the paint and let's get it rolling. All right, so here's the plan. We're going to polish and coat the grill. This needs to be polished because you'll notice we've got a bunch of water spots, a bunch of bug spots. This has already been wiped down and cleaned and prepped. All right, so this is already a little beat up, and will probably always be beat up because it's gloss black. I don't know what I was thinking, but I think it's going to look great when I get the whole truck done. Let's see, so I'm going to be using the Nano to work on this. The entire hood is coated, right? But and doesn't really need to be messed with. But over here, this section was where we blended, right? So we didn't blend the hood or didn't need to paint, but them just wiping down and prepping the surface, I noticed in the sunlight, I noticed some scratches, a couple of swirl marks. There's a scratch right there that we're gonna get cleaned up. And so this fender right here, this one right in this spot right there, was where we ended up having to sand, bondo, and match and blend. So I've got a little bit of toweling marks on the fender flares. I painted them, or they were painted 3 or 4 months ago, and so I'm going to just touch those up, clean those up. But since I don't know where to stop on the hood, rather than just guessing and then putting Miyabi and ISM back on, I think I'm just going to compound the entire front clip here. So I'm going to get all the coating off. Theoretically, we're going to have never done that before, so we'll see. And then we'll do all the way over to this fender flare. I have a couple of high spots, which I don't know if you're going to be able to see on camera. Let's see. This one would be the easiest to see. I don't know if you can see there's a bit of an oil slick here on the door handle. I left the coating sit a little too long. And there's another one down here on this door that I'm gonna compound and touch up. And then we'll have to do the rear fender flares, and then I'll be doing this. I'll turn the truck around and do this rear section. I'm gonna polish, clean it up, and then coat it. All right, so let's try this spot right here. So let's see what happens if I compound this spot. This is one of the issues with a coating. You don't really know when it's off. Prime the pad. Let's just get it primed here. I'm gonna use the old Jason Rose priming technique. This will be the hard part, figuring out when the coating is off. All right. I have no idea. It looks absolutely no different. Out the pad. Anyway, I'm going to keep polishing and see what happens. You know what? Let's do this. I'm going to go over to the spots, the high spots, compound on those and see what happens. See how long those take to come out. All right, so I got this oil slick looking spot, which is a high spot on the coating. I just left this on a little too long. All right, so let's see. Let's see what happens. I think that cleaned it right up, so maybe we're taking the coating off really quickly. It's hard to tell the difference. Yeah, it looks like I fixed it just with that quick little touch up. So maybe maybe I am removing the coating, I just can't tell, or it's harder to tell. And you guys can't really see the oil slick here. The spot is right here. It's right there. Actually, a 3-inch should have been better. All right, so it appears that I am removing the coating just by doing that. And it's so hard to tell. So my high spot or my oil slick is removed just that quickly with what 2 passes. So I don't think I need to grind away all that aggressively to remove the coating. I mean, I'm assuming if I remove the high spot, I'm removing the coating, right? I don't know if that's a bad assumption, but that's what I'm working off of here. All right, so let's keep working on the hood. We'll work on polishing out the whole front end. The whole front clip. All right, so I've got I got the DA long throw and a little HDO Lake Country pad on my Nano, mainly to cut. I'm gonna cut through the coating that I have up in here. Just feed 2. Speed 3. I don't know if I like how that. I like how close that's getting to the backing plate. I almost think I can do a better job with the 3-inch. Got our fender flares. This blue is very forgiving though. It's a really easy color to polish. It doesn't show much. Just looks super shiny. I almost don't even need to finish this. I'm gonna do a really quick yellow pad finish. Let's see how those simple passes are responding. Wow, I can already tell substantial difference in clarity right there, just cleaning it up. So I'll go and use this to, before I swap the pad, I'll go clean up the inside of the other wheel well. It's about time for me to swap the pad anyway. All right, so I'm gonna keep working through the rest of the hood, the other side. I'll come back to you when I'm working on the front end here. All right, again, the main goal here is to get the coating off so I can come back and recoat, test the new product. So I can compare the back of the car with the Kamikaze to the front of the car that has the Dr. Beasley's. All right, so let's see how this black responds. I don't think I'm gonna wanna microfiber this. Let's just try a yellow pad. I'm gonna try one step in this. Because again, this isn't coated. Slow speed, perfect finish, yellow pad. Yeah. Let's try this here. Try a little more speed. Well, good old black. You know what I might just do? I might just essence this sucker. You can see the swirling. Anyway, I'm gonna turn some music on. I'm gonna work on this. I finished up the front end. I ended up cheating and using essence on the front black section. I have a feeling I'm going to be going back to the stock gray. I thought maybe if I had some high-end aftermarket gloss black done, that it would hold up a little better, but it's not looking so great with the bugs and everything. So this section was also painted. This is a new pad, so fresh pad I should say. A little more polished. So, again, I mentioned this earlier. We probably don't need to be compounding this, but the Jescar is a little milder than most. And for whatever reason, this paint is reacting really well to it. So I'm gonna go do a test spot, but I don't even think I'm gonna finish all these areas. I think I'm just gonna do the single step of microfiber and call it a day. I just don't think we're going to see much of a difference. I got lazy. I didn't feel like going over to the garage to do this, and now it's all wet and rainy, so I'm probably going to have to wait till it dries up probably to do the coating. A little too humid right now. I'm going to try doing that back black section single step with a soft pad with Essence, Carpro Essence. See if that works. I also polished the inside here earlier with the Nano. So now this section of the truck is ready to finish. There we go. Looks darn good. All right. So let's see about this black section. You know, at first, let me go through a quick test spot and see if I notice anything with the perfect finish. Let's do a 3-passer and see what happens here. I've already wiped this down with eraser. Man, it looks so good. These guys did such a good job matching. It's pretty incredible. Let's prime it. Yeah, there is a bit of a difference. I'm gonna put the big pad on and do this section right here. There's definitely a clarity, depth difference that I'm getting, that I'm detecting from the perfect finish. So I'm gonna go through and do a quick finish polish on the rest of this section, this whole thing. We're gonna go fast. I guess I'm going through to finish the whole thing. I won't do the very front end, but I'll do the hood and the other fender player. All right, I just went in, took a nap, came back out here, and I've been waiting for it to stop raining But it doesn't, looking at the forecast, it just don't, it's not in the cards, right? It's not gonna quit raining anytime soon. So we're gonna test the viability of this Nano Resin Pro from Dr. Beasley's. We're gonna test how well it does in humid conditions. Now, of course, you know, we're dry because we're under the pole barn, but you know, it's pretty humid out here. So we're going to do that. So the process for this is to first use the paint coating prep, which, you know, my guess is probably something similar to eraser, but I have it, it comes with it, I might as well use this. You know, Dr. Jim talked about how it's designed to kind of be like an adhesion promoter, right? So this is for preparation of paint surfaces prior to application of nano coatings. It removes oils and other bonding inhibitors for durable protection. So my guess, again, is that, yeah, it smells like IPA, but there might be some additional additives in there. So we'll use this because we have it. So what the kit comes with, you know, we got this fancy Nano Resin Pro kit box. So it comes with a applicator block, which is this nifty little foam block here. All right, so one soft side, the other semi-soft side, a couple of pipettes. All right, and then we have our foam applicator. All right, it comes with 2 suedes. You only need one for application. The other is a replacement. Wrap one around the foam block. The directions in the Dr. Beasley stuff is really good. All right, so I guess we'll do this. And then we'll use this to cross hatch. All right, cool. I'm gonna blow off the paint here with the compressor and then applying it. Prepping it, then applying it. Let's just blow off this. You should get all the dust off. I don't think we need a lot of this stuff. Yeah, these towels are a little too... A lot of times I like to use these. I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna flip this around. I'm gonna do the lower pile side of my drying towels. Stuff is pretty grabby. I think I'd rather use a eraser. We'll just use the Dr. Beasley's product just to see how it goes, but this makes it really hard to wipe. I want to scratch the darn paint I just corrected. I'm going to use eraser. Wow, that's night and day difference. A lot of times for this step, I actually like to use big waffle weaves. Prepare it. Wow, paint looks good. We're not going to do the lights. But I am going to do the grill. This is completely clean. All right, so I'm gonna prepare the whole surface and come back to you and we'll start putting it on. All right, I don't know where the camera cut off. I've done this section up here using the Dr. Beasley's block. I don't know, I like my traditional block better. The CarPro block. It really doesn't even matter what suede you use. But these are pre-cut so I can tuck my little applicator towel in here. This is an esoteric one that I bought a long time ago. I bought like a 50 pack or something like that. Got a pipette here. Just making a line. And then this will spread out as I start to apply it. And then as we apply, I'm going to make sure that we keep it organized. And because this is so much, this feels so much like ISM, I'm going to put it on the trim here and see what happens. I'm going to put it on this one piece that hasn't been treated. This is a new piece. I need to remember where we put it on and where we didn't. So I like to keep body panels organized. But it's not, this isn't like rocket science here. You're just sliding some stuff on, and you're wiping it off, right? So don't let it intimidate you. It's really not that hard. We showed earlier today, if you end up with a high spot, you just polish it off. It takes 2 seconds. You know, you don't want to have to do that, but it happens. Wow, this stuff is super thick. I like that. I'm gonna do up under here too. I polished this earlier, so it's nice and clean. Better not get too big of an area. So you have a minute or two, and then we want to get this off. You also notice that this, you can tend to, because it's so thick, you can kind of push it around. So you want to make sure that, like if I push that way, make sure I follow back with the towel and grab the extra, the excess that I pushed over onto that next section. So let's put it on the trim, see what happens. Again, this is a new piece of trim. This had polish all over it from the factory. So when we did when I repainted this fender, I had them order me a new piece from Ford. So it doesn't say you can use it on trim, but we're gonna find out. Let that sit there for a second. I'm gonna throw this away. So I'll give you an update on how that holds up later on. Got some polish in that crack. It's good. This is the PD35 Tactical. I also have the PD35 2.0 testing out to see which one is better. They seem almost like they're pretty much the same. Here, can you take this off, this tape?
How do you take it off without getting that stuff on it?
Pull, pull, pull. There we go, we got this section done. No, not that one yet. Looks pretty much like polished paint with some coating on it, which doesn't look really a whole lot different, so that's good. So I'm gonna do the rest of the hood and do the grill and come back to you and update you. All right, so finished the front clip, and just to recap here, the reason why I did this, the reason why I ended up putting or redoing the front of the car is not because there was anything wrong with the Kamikaze. It's just that again, this section of the hood needed to be corrected, and so just for the sake of, let's all call it science, I felt like I should just do the whole front end, right? And so we're testing out a few things. One, we're testing out the Nano Resin Pro product. Super thick. I really like this. It almost makes me feel like I'm putting wax on. It's like a very similar application in that you layer it on, you fight it on there, and then you have to fight it off a little bit as well. It leaves it's kind of tacky now. It's really humid and raining. It's been raining all day, so we'll see how it solidifies over the next 48 hours or so. I'm not going to drive the truck for a couple of days, but it looks, at first thought, it looks very wax-like, very much like ISM, right? So one of my rubs with most coatings is that they look really synthetic. They look really odd. You don't get the depth. You get this weird kind of synthetic-looking gloss, and that's why I've been chasing some weird stuff like this. Some sort of off-the-wall, products that are a little different than your traditional coating, right? So anyway, the truck looks great. My first initial thoughts are, I don't know that you'd want this to be your first crack at a coating. It's a little more difficult to deal with. But again, you saw earlier in the video, if you screw it up, you just polish it off, and you don't even have to polish more than two passes in it. It comes off. So you will have to compound it, or like a little finishing polish probably won't take it off. But another thing we're going to be testing is I did CarPro Essence on this black and then coated it. I purposely haven't gotten the light out because I don't want to see. The black is, I would call it 85%, just like normal black. I didn't want to start diluting polishes and using water and all kinds of crazy stuff. So I just did, I cheated and just did some essence on it to fill it and make it look as good as possible. Looks great from here. If I get the light out, you'll see a little hazing, some tick marks and things like that I just didn't feel like fighting today. This was supposed to be a couple-hour project and turned into an all-day thing because I decided to do the whole front clip. We'll also see how this does, if it can be used as a trim coating for this porous trim, much like I did Kamikaze ISM in the past. So we'll see how that goes. But I feel good now that the front, the back black, the new painted section over here, the new painted fender, and the painted fender flares, also the inner fender wells where this section was painted on the fender flares are all coated and protected. It's been months and I haven't done it. So I'll be sure to give you more updates on this as I have more time with it. But as of right now, it seems like a really viable option. I'm interested to see, how it does, also how their top coat does. I think it's called, what's it called, Advanced Coat. Yeah, this Advanced Coat gloss. We'll see how this does. I'll be using this here before I take the truck out for the first time. So I'll let this sit for probably a couple of days, and I'll come wipe down the few surfaces that I did coat, the front clip and the fender flares and the rear deck, the rear applique with this, and we'll see how it does with look and beading and protection and all that stuff. So anyway, thanks for watching on this this rather odd application of doing just a few little spots on the car in order to test the difference between what's on it and the Dr. Beasley stuff. Thanks for watching. What happens when the force pulls you back, your foot naturally comes off the gas. You have to keep your foot to the floor, foot to the floor.